Good morning, 912. Welcome. Crash Clark here with you. We're doing some extended traffic coverage on a major situation we've been following for the bulk of the morning. This has been a complete shutdown of I-285 southbound before Camp Creek Parkway. We are learning more information about this wreck that has involved multiple vehicles and a tractor trailer. We now understand that two, possibly three of those vehicles were East Point police cruisers. We can see two of them in one of our shots from the sky tracker. We believe a third is also a dark colored East Point police cruiser. Now, we're not hearing any reports of any injuries. However, earlier in the morning while we were on the air live, I did see several EMS leave the scene. So that is what we are watching right now. That camera is going to buffer for a second. So let's go ahead and move the maps. We'll show you exactly what we're talking about. Look at the overall amount of red that's on my maps here, indicating we've had a struggle for a rush hour. In fact, we knew the rain was going to be here. Yesterday was nothing that we wanted to be a part of. Today, unfortunately, was round two. So there is so much rush hour to go here, even at 9:14 in the morning. But we've been concentrating all our efforts with this police investigation. I'm assuming most of the investigation is wrapped up, because now what they're doing is they're starting to maneuver some of these wreckers in the way here to get these vehicles out of the way. That's an indicator to me that they have wrapped up the investigation and now they're trying to clear the scene. However, clearing this scene has taken such a long time. At one point, they were spreading a drying agent all over 285, not for the rain, but because of a fuel spill, possibly an oil spill, or some sort of a fluid that obviously is going to create quite a slippery situation, especially with this water. But as we could see from the sky tracker, we are completely shut down 285 southbound before Camp Creek Parkway. And here's what the impacts are. At first, it was only backed up towards 166, so we were using that as an alternate. In fact, unfortunately, we sent one of our photographers out there and he was stuck in it for over 2 hours. If you look at the backup now, it's extending all the way to Hollowell Parkway. So if you have any business on the Westside Perimeter, do not do it. I'm talking about coming down from Smyrna and Vinings all the way down towards East Point and College Park. And as you can imagine, folks coming in from Lithia Springs near Six Flags, you're feeling that as well, as I-20 can't make that transition heading 285 south. The last check, we saw police diverting traffic off at 166. That's putting extreme pressure on so many of those surface streets. That's why it looks like Thornton Road and Riverside and Fulton Industrial Boulevard are also feeling some of the wrath from this wreck and eventual cleanup here. If you do need to go to the airport from the northern burbs, if you're north of I-20 and you need to head to the airport, your ride's going to be the downtown connector, 7585 southbound. You can either pick it up by going 75 south into Midtown or even as far as 85 south and take the connector. Right now, it's about a 15-minute ride from Atlantic Station down to 166. And then as we can see from the maps, 85 South is wide open all the way down towards Camp Creek. But you don't want to use the Westside Perimeter. Now, the connector northbound, nowhere fun. That's solid from before the 166 split all the way up around the Grady curve. That is just what's left over from the morning rush hour. Now, here's what's interesting about this 285 southbound shutdown at Camp Creek. Look at the impact on 85 northbound. Folks coming up from Fairburn into Union City, you're feeling it too. Not because there's anything going on the northbound side of the interstate, but as the sun comes up, folks want to slow down and take a peek at it. We call that onlooker delay, or as you know it from the old school, rubbernecking. So if you're coming up from the south side, Fairburn, Union City, you got business near the airport, or if you have a flight, if you're going to start your Thanksgiving travel, as a lot of us are going to be doing, Highway 29, that is a wide open alternate coming in from that south side ride. That'll take you all the way up to the airport into College Park. The rest of the rush hour, look at this, not letting go anytime soon. 75 southbound, which is normally a decent drive through Marietta, you're struggling with 36 minutes from Barrett Parkway to I-285. Now, earlier in the morning, we had wrecks along Delk Road and at the South Loop. All of that has been cleared out of the way. Unfortunately, you're paying for the sins of your predecessors. So if you're coming down from Ackworth and Kennesaw, you're going to feel that on 75 even before you you get to Barrett Parkway. 575 will also feel the pinch of that. Now, Georgia 400, a whole nother animal out of Alpharetta, up to 40 minutes now. I saw this climb all the way up to 1 hour from Windward Parkway to I-285, so it's getting a little bit better, but this is still a major red alert. And then, of course, I-85. If you live, work, or play anywhere in Norcross or Duluth and you travel I-85, you know how rough that can be. That is solid from 316 all the way down towards I-285. We're talking 43 plus minutes. Obviously, the speed's not going anywhere anytime soon. Let's take another live look here. Again, they're maneuvering a heavy-duty wrecker in the way. That's the red one you see there on the right side, because there was a tractor trailer involved. I did see one of those East Point police cruisers up against the front of that tractor trailer, and then another one of those East Point police cruisers up against that back median wall to the left of your screen there with heavy damage. So we do know that several of these police, in fact, it looks like they're trying to move one of them right now, get that in the way. In fact, it looks like it's on a flatbed wrecker. Let me just hold on one second. Let me just clear my throat real quick. Excuse me. Yeah, it looks like that's what we're seeing right now, is a flatbed wrecker and one of these East Point police vehicles. Now, I know this camera is not as clear as it should be. It's not exactly high def, but we did see that they were darker color, possibly black colored SUVs. We clearly saw East Point police on the side of him, and it looks like that might be one of them that they are hauling away now. We saw at least two of them involved. We believe there was a third. It was somewhat obstructed by another one of the vehicles, so we couldn't quite make it out, but we do know that two of them definitely were East Point vehicles. And there you go. You can see that flatbed wrecker right now slowly going through the scene. Now, not just for safety reasons, but again, they put this drying agent out there that indicates to me that there was a fuel spill, some sort of an oil spill, or some sort of slippery liquid on the road. In fact, if you look off to the side there with those flashing lights on the police car, that brown stuff that you see there on the road, that's that drying agent that they were putting out. And then what they do is they get one of those industrial brooms out there, and they just kind of brush that off, and that takes that liquid with it and clears the streets. But even though the rain is all but subsided, we're still looking at some slick streets out there. And once they do open this, folks that are stuck in all this backup, they'll be bringing some of that water through that scene. So they have got to make sure that that is dry enough for travel, especially travel at speeds in the 50s and 60s as far as miles per hour are concerned. But again, progress being made, but we still see a lot of movement here. This is going to be a while till they clear this up. And of course, we will be live at 11 a.m. with our afternoon news, so we'll certainly give you an update there. We'll continue to update you at 11alive.com. And let's go ahead and flip through the maps one more time and just give you exactly what we're looking at in case you've got maybe errands to run in the next hour or so. Maybe you've got friends or family that are off to the airport. This is an area you want them to avoid, and this is all on 285 southbound just before you get to Camp Creek Parkway. It's been a complete shutdown for the bulk of the morning now. We came on the air at 4:30 this morning, and it was shortly after that we discovered the wreck. We realized it was going to be a severe situation, and then they shut it down, and then they began their investigation. So obviously, with all lanes closed, look what it has done to our morning commute, backing up still to Hollowell Parkway. That's a long way, folks. That's at least 5+ miles. Now, the impact on I-20, you could see it's gone from red to orange, so maybe the bulk of folks that were coming in from Douglasville and Lithia Springs have either chosen to use Highway 78, Veterans Memorial Highway, or they've gone where they need to be, and they're in better shape. But that Westside Perimeter doesn't look like it's going to recover anytime soon, and we saw these delays coming up from the south side as well. If you need to get to the airport, if you're coming up from the south side, that's easy. Highway 29 or even I-75, you'll be in great shape there. If you're north of I-20, you want to use the downtown connector. Take that through town. It is wide open. It'll be your best bet. And again, you can see some of those brake lights, folks, coming up on 85 northbound from Union City up towards College Park and East Point. So it's going to be a scene that folks are going to be looking at for quite a while. This is one more look again at what we like to call the big three from the northern burbs. 75 through Marietta, Georgia 400 from Alpharetta, Roswell, and Sandy Springs, and even 85 from 316 to the junction. And again, that's all outside the perimeter. If you're heading into Midtown, you're going to rediscover cover more of those brake lights on 85 and 400 as they make the merge heading into Midtown. But let's give you one more look here before we take a little break. Again, another vehicle being hauled away by a flatbed wrecker. Again, we believe this could be another one of those East Point police vehicles. Can't quite read it there, but we do know that at least 2 were involved. Liza Lucas at Grady Hospital. She's going to get us a report at 11 o'clock, so stick with us, folks. 285 southbound remains completely shut down before Camp Creek Parkway with a major situation that we're going to continue to follow. We appreciate it, folks. If you're getting ready to head out, please be safe on those roads. Have a great morning.